Hi, Mario.
Hello,
Hi. Good evening. Has the meeting started already, or the because I just saw the message now. Hello.
Mario.
Oh,
Are you here,
oh,
Mario?
this is Mimi.
Sorry, I'm expecting Mario. I'm not sure if he's here.
Hello, Mary is not yet connected.
Okay.
Hello, TJ, how are
Evening.
you?
Oh, fine. Thanks, Mimi. When is this meeting, by the way?
I'm starting in 40 minutes.
In
Oh,
15
it's yet to
minutes.
start.
Yeah, yet to start.
All right, all right. And when did you say it's starting in 40 minutes?
So 14, like
14 minutes.
yeah,
Oh, 40
12
minutes
p.m.
on the
GMT.
hour. Okay, all right, okay. Good then. So I'll join then. I'll join in the 40 minutes time. All right.
So
All right.
It's in
Thanks.
it's in 15 minutes. It will start, not in
yeah,
40. After 15 minutes.
yeah, 15,
Yes,
yeah.
no, that's okay. Yeah, in 14,
Okay.
1 5 on 4. Or yeah,
Yes, yes, 1-5.
that's okay. That's okay. Thanks then. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Hello, Ricardo.
Hi, Naji, how are you?
I'm fine.
Wonderful.
Yeah, can you hear me pretty well?
Perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm supposed to have Mario to check if things are okay. Let me check my screen. Uh, Go to device audio select speakers. Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Uh, Is it
You could
running?
put it on full screen.
In fact, I did, but I don't know why it's not showing the full screen.
Yeah, good presentation mode.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let me do that from my screen here. PowerPoint.
Yeah, now it's presentation mode.
Yeah, there is a music on. Can you hear it, or it's not working?
No, I can't hear it.
Uh, okay, fine. Let me try to fix it. The settings.
I think when you share, you have to take share with volume.
Yeah, it's not
Or
allowing.
audio.
It's mentioning that I need to go to the settings. Let me see the settings. There's nothing for the audio. Again, include sound. Go to your device, audio settings, select speakers FX. Let me try the speakers FX. Okay. Again, it's not working here. Mhm. Any music now for you?
No, no music. But it's fine. It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah. Okay. Were you there yesterday during the presentation, Ricardo?
Sorry, no, I didn't attend yesterday
So
because
you're
I'm
joining
in
today.
I'm on Singapore time, so it's midnight for me.
Okay, poor you.
Yeah. So
Unlucky you.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough to do the midnight to 2 o'clock. So I'm gonna attend some, but the contract management is one of the most important modules. So
It is. It is.
yeah.
Hello, Naji. Hello,
Hello,
everyone. Hello, Ricardo.
Hey there,
Mario.
Mario.
So are you?
Yeah. Someone, Mario, mentioned on the WhatsApp group that the session is after 1 hour. There is something wrong here.
No,
Someone mentioned.
no,
No.
just 1 hour long. Just 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I misunderstood that.
Yeah, just 1 hour.
Okay.
And Mario, between yesterday and today, are we touching most of the contract module or not yet?
I think all the contents have been covered
Okay.
because I was looking to the schedule, and I saw that in an overview we covered some of the contents, and Naji will finish it today.
Yeah.
But I think there's another session tomorrow to conclude the contracts, no?
No.
No. Oh, okay, fine.
You will cover everything today.
Maybe that's why you asked to include one more slide about the payment mode and the clauses, 7 clauses in the contract. Now I get it.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Okay.
So Naji, just for context, the people that should be joining, have already done the 4 modules, and this is a review session.
Yep.
So in terms of eligibility and the pathways, I mean, all of that, you could just skip over because they should have completed that. They're eligible.
I will not talk about these slides. This is only just during their joining, just not to keep waiting for nothing. That is not the presentation. Yeah.
Okay.
I always use that style really, because when I join any webinar and we just keep waiting and it's complete silence.
Yeah. No, agreed. I like it.
So that's it. And I hope the music was running as well. It's not working because again, it gives like a soft atmosphere. Anyway.
Yeah. So I will probably drop off before you end, but I'll see if I can push on.
Fine.
And of course, we appreciate you volunteering to do this as well.
You're doing most of the work, you and Mario. You're doing 90%, and all of us are doing the 10. I mean, maybe Ziad is doing the 9.
Yes, exactly. Ziad and Mario does the work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He has plenty of effort, really. I mean, he's a good communicator using WhatsApp, LinkedIn, whatever, TikTok. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's wait 5 minutes and then we will start. Thank you for joining. Everyone will start in 2 minutes. Thank you for joining.
People are already in.
Hello, everyone. It has passed 5 minutes from 5 p.m., my local time, but I think that we can start. Thank you very much for joining us. We will start this day-do from a 6-week in a row sessions study group. We started yesterday with contract management, and we will have today's sessions the same way we had yesterday, a 1-hour session where we will cover and continue talk about the contract management. I'm Mario Gurgel, PMI ambassador for Sub-Saharan Africa regional lead, and our session will be led by Najid. I'll be your host, and this session is to support you in your journey towards the PMICP credential. Remembering that this is not a workshop, this is not a training, but a supportive session to help you in your endeavor to this credential. So some rules for our session. When you have questions, you should raise your hand after the presentation that we will have from Najib. And after the presentation, we will have a moment for Q&A. After that, regarding the presentation of Najib, we will have sample questions, allowing us to interact with one another, where you can also pose your questions in an interactive moment. Without further ado, I will pass over to Naji to start his presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mario, for introducing this subject, which is a very important subject, especially in the construction professional certificate. Good evening, everyone. I would like to start with the small Mentimeter exercise. Okay, so just to check out your preferences. Yesterday, the discussion was about the contracts, the models that you will be using. So one of the questions that I like to introduce today, select the 3 highest contractor risk level. Okay, so you just scan the QR code, or if you're through your mobile, open your browser, type menti.com, and then you type the code 32771822. Anyway, it's easier if you can scan the QR code and submit the three highest contractor risk level. During today, we will see which are the highest level for a contractor. So please start scanning and submit. Okay, let us see which are your preferences. Okay. So far, it's construction management at risk, design build. If anyone did not get the code, there you are, the QR code, if someone didn't have the chance to scan it. Okay, so your most highest risk, the way you see it, is construction management at risk. When they assign a construction manager, we see design build, build. Okay, and then build, operate, and transfer, BOT. Fine. We will see during this presentation the correct answer. Okay, let us start with another presentation, which is our presentation for today. There we go. During your study, we learned that we cannot just set a contract. Usually, we draft a contract and we sign it. However, PMI, they say no. There is several steps. The discovery, then the pre-award, next the proposal process, that you distribute all this information to the contractors to set their process, and they execute step 4, the contract, which is the real work, and the closing. So a quick review about each step. So discovery, it's about why are we doing this? In the first place, why there is a contract, why there is a proposed project. So you study the market, the feasibility. It's about the stakeholders giving their input, about clarification, why we need a contract, why we need a project. Again, in brief, second step, pre-award. So we did not ask for contractors to sign, it is pre-signing, pre-award. So again, you read the business case and you would like to determine which delivery method, one of the several methods that you've seen yesterday, delivery method, is it BOT, is it contracting, is it daily labor, contractor at risk, which one you are heading at. So this is the pre-award phase. Next, the proposal process, you send RFT, request for tender, or request for proposal. And here is the legal step where contractors, bidders, they submit, they sign once they are approved, and there is a predefined criteria for the selection. It is not always the cheapest price, which between brackets, it's a wrong way to select the cheapest price. There are several criteria, maybe based on the history of the contractor, their capabilities, their equipment, several criteria. So once they select the best contractor, here the final contract is signed, and it leads to step 4, which is executing the contract, meaning executing the project. So during this step, plenty of monitoring is required to monitor not only the work, to monitor the compliance with respect to the contracts. The contractor signed on several clauses. Is the contractor complying? Again, there is the risk factor during the process, the progress of the works. They need to manage to monitor any threats coming through, and maybe we don't notice them. So execution, the contract. The final one, contract closeout. Here I would like really to pause for a while and comment on this issue. At least in my country, working for more than 35 years in construction, closing is not properly done. The project is over, so we presume no more work to do. We get paid or we pay the contractor and that's it. In the eyes of PMI, it's a wrong procedure. You need to do all the paperwork, closing all invoices, closing all claims. And they say, if there is one invoice, one pending claim not closed, the project is not closed. So really closing a project, it takes a lot of paperwork, of signatures, signing off, clearing, closing a project. It is as important as really doing the task, which most of us, I believe, sorry, there's something maybe wrong here. Okay, we move on. Now, again, PMI, they do not provide a complete contract. This is a preset contract. You sign it. It is not. On the other hand, other entities, other bodies, they do it, like the FIDIC, right? They have several contract types. Here, PMI, they say there's a form of a contract, standard form. The importance of it is to guide you, to tell you, watch out. There are some procedures they suggest that watch out about some legal issues, legal clauses, clause 1, clause 2, clause 3. And these clauses should be well determined by bodies who really understand like a bit of the law, business law, construction law. Okay, so it is a form of a contract, like watch out. However, they don't provide a complete contract, and they should not, because it depends on the culture, it depends on the country we're working in, on the organization. So they just say, there's a form, watch out for several legal aspects. Okay. Moving on. Next, how you're going to pay the contractor. There's the client, there's the contractor. Again, you need to mention clearly in the contract the payment mode. They call it payment structure or payment mode, whatever. Is it pay as you go? How much you deliver, you get paid? Is it a lump sum or fixed fee? And again, if it is a lump sum, how are you going to pay this lump sum? Is it about unit price, time and material? You bring the material, Mr. Contractor, I pay you and additional costs as a profit, or how much time you spend if you're hiring experts. So you need in each contract to be explicit about this item to avoid claims, definitely. Claims, as PMI mentioned, that it is due to negligence, due to misunderstanding, due to incomplete contracts, or unaware of several clauses that leads to a claim. We did not understand such. We thought it was. So there's a conflict, and conflict brings to claim, and so on. And most of the claims, if we go to the root cause of any claim, it's money, right? It's money. And here the payment mode, the payment structure, how you're going to pay the contractor. So really, it's a vital issue. In the quiz, the exam, PMICP exam, you need to understand really all these types of payments. Sometimes, yes, we do have to memorize. Sometimes we have to understand. Other questions later after we end this discussion, I will present a few examples, few exercises. So some of them we need to memorize, others we need to really understand. So both of them are important, because while we go through the course, if it is either self-paced or through an ATP, we find it interesting. Yeah, we know this. But however, there are some key terms that we miss, and we face them in the exam. Before I move on, would you like to pose any question, any clarification before? And if anyone, just unmute and pose your question or your intervention, and then we can move on. Are we okay?
I'm still haunted by the contract type that has the highest risk.
Sorry, Ricardo, say again.
The question at the very beginning, the contract types that has the highest risk.
Yeah, I will come to that in few slides. Okay. I will do that. Yeah. Seven key contract clauses. I love this one. So PMI, they are saying, watch out. Once you're drafting a contract, don't miss any of these key clauses. Key clauses. Change clause. Very important topic. Expect several questions in the exam. There is a change. When you can apply for a change, how the change is made, how you document a change clause. It could be maybe one page within the contract explaining the steps that you have to follow to do any change. It is not done by a phone call. We need to do this, okay, it's done. It's not like this. This is the procedure. You have to describe it, whatever the description could be. It should be explicit, clear between the contractor and the client or the owner. Dispute resolutions clause. Again, this one is replacing the court. Either amicable settlement, arbitration, and it should be within the contract. If it is not mentioned, most probably when any dispute arises, okay, both parties, they go to the court. If not, you have to include how you're going to resolve any dispute or any claim. We bring an arbitrator, how we do it. Again, it's one important clause to be added. All of them are important, the seven. Let's move on. Indemnity clause, liquidated damages. It's about the cash, about if you're going to breach the contract, how much will pay, if really it is about compensation, payment clause, we discussed that, termination. In case there is a termination of the project, how you're going to terminate it. Again, it's not done by a phone call or an email. We're going to stop the work. It's not like this. Time part clause, the timing. How much time you have to submit for a claim, how much time you have to reply to a change request, how much time, whatever the sequence is. So these two, the payment model and these 7 clauses, they are a must in any contract. So you select the contract model. You select the payment model. You select what form of a contract. Can you win it all? I mean, either a contractor or a client. The missing part here, who holds the risk? Who holds the risk? Can you win it all? I mean, let us be practical. I believe everyone here of us, they buy an insurance policy for their cars, for our cars. So when we pay a premium to insure our car, we are least economical, but we are highest at risk. It's not my risk anymore. It's someone else. So they are inversely proportional. You pay, you lose money, but you're safe. You don't pay, you're at high risk. I don't want to pay for my car for any reason. You're at high risk. You're most economical. You will not pay. So it is inversely proportional. So we cannot win it all. We either can be safe, we are least economical. We cannot be least economical and safe, and we get the payment mode that we deserve, that we think it suits us. We cannot win it all. We have to select. Again, it's the administration. It's people who they invest. So this one will guide us to this balance. The contractor side and the client. All of these, the payment model, the contract, the delivery method. Do you want to be least risk as a client? Least risk, you have to pay more. You will hold the contractor to be at high risk. You are here, low risk. Inversely, if you select, you will bear the high risk, the contractor is at low risk. So there is this inversely proportional balance. You can find a midway. Again, it is in the contract. There is a midway where you can share risk. Would anyone care, just to give an example, how a client and a contractor can share risk to find a midway? Anyone, please just open your microphone, share how really the two entities, they can share a midway risk. Go ahead. A real life example, not theory.
You can find it in the design and you can find it in the design and build projects. Design and build projects type. I can see it. The two can share. It's in a mid risk.
Okay, what do you think you have to add in the contract for the type that you are suggesting? What clause would you add to make it clear?
Because at the end, you two, you are presenting your offer as a contractor with your own design,
Okay.
and and your methodology of construction too. And at the end, does the client agree on what you are proposing? So it's now you're and the material and everything you are proposing, because this is at the end it's design and build, and you are into the specs which is the client has specified before. So at the end, the client will find whatever he want, and as a contractor, you are giving the price, the best price from your analysis or from your studies.
Yeah. For design and build, the client is paying for a specific amount of money. It could be lump sum because design and build.
Exactly.
So here in this situation, the risk is higher for the contractor because he will be dealing with whatever unforeseen events in this style. Again, if you are going for a design build, maybe someone else can really intervene. What clause can you add to balance the risk, to make it a bit minimum for the contractor, a bit higher for the client? Yeah, anyone, please.
It's maybe about reviewing price or something you are putting in
Okay.
Again, if something happens in maybe force majeure, or for example,
Okay.
which is affect the pricing,
Yes. That's
a big
That's
issue.
what I'm trying to hear. Really, thank you. It's about inflation or deflation. If you
Exactly.
set a clause within the contract, if there is inflation in this country, prices go up 5%. Okay, Mr. Contractor, Mr. Client, we share this 5%. It is not only the contractor. It should be really set. Or deflation. Deflation. The prices go down for some reason. So both of us will benefit. Not only the contractor will pay less for the material, the client will pay less. So it should be set as a clause. Let us share good times and hard times, high threats and opportunities. If it is not mentioned in the contract, you cannot say that give me the savings because prices are down or whatever. So again, it is the contract. Most of the cases during a few trainings that I deliver to engineers, they ask, who has the right of? Who has the right to? My answer always, what does the contract mention? It's about the contract. What does it say? It is there. It is not always correct because I am the contractor or I'm the client. What did you agree upon? It is the contract.
Question.
Yes, please.
So in this case, let's say, for example, with the knowledge that we have acquired now, and you are probably on the contractor side, you know how, let's say it's a bid build contract, for example,
Yes.
where you've already found a contract that has been drafted and you've been awarded the contract. Now you've seen that these clauses are not available. Before works begin, are we suited to be in a position where we can query and say that this risk, I think they're one-sided. So can we add this clause so that at least it's balanced for all of us, or it will be, for lack of a word, like being arrogant when you're bringing these arguments?
If I understood your question well, whatever you can mention in the contract before signature is valid. After signing the contract, you cannot just make any change so bluntly. So you do any change, any review of the contract before signature. Once it is signed, it's binding. You cannot easily go around that, if this is your question. So back to the highest risk, when there is a lump sum that the contractor submits his price. It could be BOT, build, operate, and transfer. All the works, all the cash, the contractor will be paying. Whatever happens, he's at high risk. Again, build, design, and operate, or BD. Again, the cash is out from the pocket of the contractor. Nothing he can claim for additional amounts. So whenever there is lump sum or all the works, including design, the risk is higher. The client is paying more, as we agreed. This is the balance. So it is not a win-win situation for the client. The client already paid for such a contract, a lump sum or whatever type. The contractor holds the highest risk. Ricardo, you want
Punza,
to intervene?
I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you, Naji. Punza raised her hand. So Punza, you have a question?
No, I think he's just answered it now with the last statement, Naji.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You can proceed, Naji.
Yeah. How about another? Okay. Again, Mentimeter. Which of the 7 contract clauses do you usually add in your contract? So we have 7 clauses, key clauses. Really, what are the most clauses that you include in the contracts? So the first one, change clause, dispute resolution, indemnity, liquidated damages, payment clause, termination clause, time barred. So, okay, you usually add. I think you have the opportunity to select only 3. I think I did this. Yeah, it is only 3. Yeah. Okay, now I am hiding the answers so that you don't get influenced by previous answers. Okay, I will just show the answers later on. Did you have the chance to scan the code, or I have to show it again? Let me show it for a few more seconds so that most of you can participate. Okay. So far, dispute resolution is one key clause. I like it. Payment clause, definitely. Change clause. Okay. Indemnity and liquidated damages. Where are they? Not enough. Not enough. Okay, let me hide them once more. Don't get influenced by others. Okay. Really, I believe all of them, they are quite important. But since this exercise allows you to select only 3, so dispute resolution, yes, it is there. It should be. It should be in all contracts. Payment clause as well. It should be. You cannot ignore it, how you're going to pay, and you selected a change clause. Fine. Fine. Okay, let us resume. Now, how to really manage the contract delivery method with respect to the risk level. Now, this chart, you will always see when the risk level for the contractor is low, the client is high, or vice versa. They could be mid between the two, yes. So let us take the design bit build, medium, okay? Even though it could be influenced by the contract. Design turnkey. The owner has the lowest risk. Turnkey, the contractor is bearing all the cost or the inflation or whatever happens, the risk is high. Okay, let me jump to integrated project delivery. It's called collaboration. Okay, shared risk. I like this, shared risk and reward. So it is shared between the two. And this is a new concept. It's a new mindset, really, to share risk. Unfortunately, again, I refer to my country here in Beirut. This mindset is not yet, it's not ready yet. Still finding ways to throw threats on others. Let us share risk. We both win, we both lose. It's not that you will lose, I will win always. You cannot do it. So I like how to share risk between two parties. Okay. Direct labor. So the client, he's running the show. Are you seeing, did I share?
No, we cannot see.
No? Yeah, let me see it. I don't
Maybe
know.
stop sharing, you will share again.
Okay, not sharing. Share. Again, it's not working.
Yeah, stop sharing and then try to share again.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Nope. I'm not sure if this is due to internet connection. I think it's internet connection. Just give me 1 minute.
I can support it if you.
Yes. I mean, imagine you have the file, right?
Yes, let me.
We still have, there we are. There we are. I'm back. Right?
So let's proceed.
Fine, let's proceed. So I was describing direct labor. In case the client is hiring direct labor, definitely the risk is high for the owner. Conversely, it is low for subcontractors. Direct labor, I am the main contractor could be. So this is the balance where you have to really determine where do you want to invest. You want to invest in cash, you're less at risk. If not, you're at the highest level of risk. Again, the contract payment. Which one is best for you? It depends. You want to pay the contract a lump sum, you're at a lower level of risk. You already agreed to pay that much. The contractor in this concept bears the highest risk. For unit price, okay, per unit, rate, you pay for each rate, for each work done, so it is a medium. When the contractor delivers plenty of items, he's paid for that much. So really, there's a balance. Again, each firm, they should determine what to select, what payment term, what delivery method, okay? But I remember that we cannot win it all. And there's like a mindset, we need to win it all, forget it, we cannot. Fine. You ready for some sample questions, or you have an intervention before I have 5 or 6 sample questions and we will discuss them? An intervention? Okay.
Naji, I will propose the same way we did yesterday. Anyone that has questions that want to share insights, because we assume that some of the participants already started their journey. So I will suggest that. And if there's no questions, we can then jump to the sample questions. So this is an interactive moment. Open your mic, raise your hand, and Naji is here to lead us in this presentation and session. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm reading what Muhammad said in the chat, not only in Lebanon, it's around the Middle East. Okay, I'm relieved in a way. Fine.
Yes, it's all.
It's everywhere.
So no one with questions? We can assume that Naji has been very clear.
We assume so, yeah.
Okay.
So the key with this, though, it represents, I believe, 50% of the value of the exam. So this particular module, we need to focus in on it.
Yeah. And I would add that before submitting to sit for the exam, you need to pass an online exam, especially on this module. Right, Ricardo? Right, Mario?
I think that is communication.
Communication. No, it's communication. Yeah.
Communications. Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Now, I will pose the question with the 4
We have
answers.
Aaron. Sorry to interrupt you. Aaron, you have any question?
Yes, this might sort of be a redundant question, but I'm also worried that maybe when we pose that small quiz where the options of the contract clauses, I may speak for many, or I may speak for myself, but I am not really very comfortable with the understanding of the indemnity clause. I've been trying to get around it, but I'm still finding it hard to understand it. I don't know if it's the right time to ask him.
Can you give some insights, Naji, please? Naji, are you with us? Naji has some internet issues. Naji, can you hear us? Yes, let's wait a bit. I think that Naji
All right.
dropped down.
Yeah. But what are situations that will indemnify the owner or the contractor, Mario?
Please, Ricardo.
First of all, get an understanding of what situations allow for an indemnity. I think we have to start there.
Yeah. Just to help, indemnity is when something that has been agreed is not accomplished by one of the parties, and they assume that they have to indemnify the other part. So they agree on having one clause for that. So it must be written and agreed happen, the parties involved in the contract. That's why this clause has to be part of the contract. So they agree in terms of what should the indemnity be in species or material or other things. So you have to clearly put in the contract this indemnity clause. How should it be carried out? That's the point. So we have Roberto. I don't know if it's clear or not, Aaron, or if anyone has insights to support.
If I may ask, I may ask maybe a scenario, because I was just checking it and it said something along the lines that if something goes wrong, the other party should be able to if, let's say, for example, let me give an example of, let's say, a project, right? It's midway happening, and then, for example, the usage issue where some projects had to be stopped midway. Now the contractor has workers and whatnot. Can we say an indemnity clause will be applicable in that scenario for on the contractor side because he's at a loss or it's something that is beyond his control, or it's something completely different?
Yes. Example of that is, for example, when there is a delay in payment, for example, and also with quality issues. When they make an inspection on what has been delivered, they make this inspection with a supervisor contracted by the owner. If they identify any quality thing that is not in according what they agreed upon the contract, so the other part should indemnify its counterpart. So this is one example. There are several ones. But this one is one example of indemnity scenario example that we can face in terms of construction contract. Quality issues and things alike. For example, you promise to deliver one for example, project in one way, and then when they make an inspection, what has been delivered is not the one that has been promised and agreed upon on the contract. I don't know if it's answer your question or not.
Oh yeah. I think now we're on the same page. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We have Roberto. Can you?
Actually, yeah. Hi, I'm from Guatemala. The actual what I encounter is in the traditional form of contract, the design, build, and bid. There's the owner who hire the architect, structural engineering, map engineers, and they start designing the project. After that, they start bidding the project with different contractors, but the different interpretations of the construction drawing blueprints take some doubts and then go back to the architects, redesign, make again some drawing plans and goes through it. Then they hire the contract, and you see the problems because of the fault of communication between stakeholders, architects, structural engineers, hydraulic engineers, and etc. And that's where they start the rework and redesign during the construction phase. So the importance for in my point of view, the contractor should be early in the design stages to apport all his expertise, and so the work goes through. For my point of view, IPD it's a better form of how do you say, it's a better workflow for construction, and also
I'm back.
where you hire.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Taj.
Okay. I'm sorry for this interruption, the internet interruption. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Can we go back for the Q&A?
Yes. Robert is just closing his question, so then we can proceed.
What?
So, Robert,
you want to skip it? Shall we skip it?
Roberto, can you continue your intervention, and then we go to the practice questions?
Okay.
So, proceed, Roberto.
So in our expertise, it's a better way, like for the owner and for the constructor. It's only to, for example, it's the actual cost of the building, and then only charge one fee for our intervention as a contractor is the better way because we share a risk between all parties. Like forming, it's like a forming, like, have you ever seen a cable of steel cables where the steel cable is formed by different smaller cables? It's working like a unified construction unit. Instead of design build, we make a construction became part of the design coordination process in order to reduce interpretation risk after the design is finished. By forming a construction unity, owner, design contractor, and all the stakeholders became a team, work as a simple unit. You reduce errors in the design and interpretation like a steel cable formed by hundreds of cables together exactly the same. Thanks.
Thank you, Roberto. And Virgil Bizo, I think you raised your hand. Have you a question or not?
Good afternoon. It's not a question, but maybe to also add my understanding on indemnity. It's basically insurance to cover any liability during the construction of a project. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Naji, we can proceed with the practice questions.
Yeah.
So, the stage is yours.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So this first question, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, yes.
Fine. So you have please to type each one, the correct answer in the chat box. Fine. Rather than saying it aloud, type it in the chat box. So a construction company is negotiating a contract for a commercial building. At this stage, terms and conditions, scope of work, and payment schedule are being discussed. Which phase of the construction contract life cycle is this scenario? Okay.
Remember that you can open your mic if you want or type on the chat.
Yeah. So this is a really typical exam question. And here it's really understanding the phases. And the best answer here is a pre-award. They are negotiating a contract, okay? Scope of work, payment schedule are being discussed. So it is under discussion. Nothing is signed yet. It is not the contract execution. It is not the closure, definitely not, or the post-award phase. So A is the correct answer. Question number 2. Which type of contract is most commonly used in construction projects where the scope is well defined? So cost plus fixed fee, time and material, lump sum, cost plus incentive fee. Again, you either go to the chat box or you can mention it aloud. Okay, the scope is well defined. Again, I would like to really intervene in this. Some claims, not all of them, or breaching of a contract comes from a sad interpretation. The client would grant the contractor a lump sum project. However, the scope is not well defined, specification book is not well defined, the BOQ is poor, so you cannot sell your project for a lump sum, and all these requirements are not met. And really, plenty of arbitrations due to this fact. It's a lump sum project, it is not clear, no scope, poor requirements, poor BOQ. If all of these are well specified, well written, then you can go for a lump sum project. If not, you cannot go it. You have to go maybe for another style. So in this scenario, when the scope is well defined, okay, it is a lump sum project. 3. During a construction project, unexpected weather conditions cause significant delays. As the construction professional, that's being you, how should you handle this situation? Unexpected weather conditions. A, get authorization to push all teams to work faster. B, update the project schedule and communicate the impact to stakeholders. Increase the project budget to cover overtime costs. Modify the contracts with the affected subcontractors. Okay. Again, one tip for the exam. Plenty of questions, they include definitely 2 wrong answers, even though if you don't know which one is the correct, but you know that 2 of them, they are wrong, definitely. I mean, nobody just can select D, modify the contracts with the affected subcontractors. It's wrong. So I'm assuming that I'm not sure about my answer. I eliminate. So I eliminate D, increase the project budget, I would eliminate it. So it is either A and B. So you reflect on which one of these. So the best answer is update the project schedule and communicate the impact to stakeholders. So again, don't leave any question unanswered. There's no double penalty in the exam. If you answer 5 or 6 wrong answers, so they delete 1 correct answer. No double penalty. So make sure to answer all the questions, even though if you don't know what is the correct one, eliminate the least 2. Definitely they are wrong. And just maybe make a good guess before you select submit or your time is almost over. Don't leave 10 or 15 questions unanswered. Make some discernment, click. Maybe you have 50% chance to select the answer. Okay. 4. A project involves multiple stakeholders, including the owner, architects, engineers, contractors, all of whom need to collaborate closely throughout the project. Which project delivery method promotes enhanced collaboration and joint risk management among all parties? So several parties, which one would bring which delivery method, collaboration and sharing risk? DBB, construction manager at risk, integrated project delivery, design and build. Which one? Okay. So if you know the definition of each one of these, you would select the correct answer. It's C, integrated project delivery. Okay? It's like sharing, collaborative style to deliver a project. 5. During excavation for a new commercial building, the contractor discovers unexpected underground utilities that were not indicated on the drawings. Okay. Unforeseen. It's not unforeseen event, unforeseen maybe they didn't do their work before excavation starts. This discovery causes delays and additional costs. What is the likely cause, of this claim? Designer negligence, contractor negligence, weather-related delays, unforeseen site conditions. Again, I would like to comment on this. If I ask what is force majeure, I bet I will get 10 different answers, depending on our country, our culture, our what we're used to describe force majeure. So in the exam, some things need to be memorized, okay? The definition of each one of these. Yeah, we have to do it. It's not only to understand the definition, we have to memorize some of them. For such that example, if you know the definition of unforeseen site condition, you would get it right. So it is not a weather-related delay. It is unforeseen site conditions. And there's a definition, okay, for each one of these. Last one, a construction company signed a lump sum contract to build a residential complex. During the project, unforeseen soil condition required additional foundation works. Who is responsible for the additional cost under a typical lump sum contract? Okay, something needs more work, more money. Who is responsible under a lump sum contract? A, the construction company, B, the project owner, C, the architect, D, the subcontractor. Who is responsible? Okay. Yeah, definitely it is the construction company because they have signed a lump sum contract. It is signed lump sum. So risk is high for the construction company. Lump sum, the highest risk is for the major contractor. Okay. That's it.
We have Ponza. Thank you very much, Naji, for this presentation. Very clear, very insightful, very informative. And of course, many questions from the attendants. And we will start with Ponza. Ponza, you have a question, please. The stage is yours.
Yeah, Naji, I think on the last one I was very much undecided because lump sum, you said the scope is defined completely. So should not scope also include that? I mean, the condition of the soil and all of these things that are eventually risks, because I take it assuming that you've defined the scope completely.
Yeah, in fact, this is always underground issues. They are unforeseen. Even if you do some samplings, still you might find hard rock, you might find soft rock underground. So whose responsibility? They cannot mention it in the scope. It is unforeseen. So it is the contractor who will bear this additional cost. It is a lump sum.
Okay, thanks for that.
You're not much convinced, but yes, that's really because it is underground. They cannot really scope what's below 10 meters. They cannot do it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We have Tunde. Tunde, can you pose your question, please? Tunde, can you hear us? You have your mic.
Sorry, my apologies. My apologies. I thought I was unmuted. Okay. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Naji, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Just like can you share that question again?
Which was
That
the last
last question.
question? Yeah, I will share it again. Yeah.
Just share it again. And I just want us to, sort of review it from my perspective. You said it's unforeseen, meaning nobody would have known, so it could be maybe 3 meters
Right.
down the ground or
Yes.
whatever. But if it's unforeseen, it could be force majeure. It could be anything, but the contractor would not have known. Why would the contractor be paying for that thing that nobody, even the engineers, architect, could not have even known about? And the choice of site is not the contractor, but the owner. Would it be?
Yeah.
Would it be the construction company that needs to pay for it? Really?
Yeah, I get it. I get your question, and it's really it's a good one. Well, you mentioned force majeure. Force majeure, really, I asked this a few minutes ago. If I ask what is force majeure, I would get 10 different answers. But really, force majeure is not related to the soil being different from the excavated soil. It's maybe a chaotic, it is maybe war, it's maybe a hurricane. It's mostly about big, dangerous things. Acts of God, they call it. Yeah. So it is not different type of force majeure. It is not. Anyway, if you want to be specific in the contract, I would suggest make a list of force majeure. Hurricanes, sea level gets up high, maybe whatever, riots, whatever. Make a list so that you will minimize the conflict between the contractor and the client.
Yeah. And also, how could you indemnify as the contractor if you're taking a lump sum project? How could you build in unforeseen issues? How could you put that in such a way that I'm saying that I'm taking this contract with all of the conditions that are in front of me? If anything happens that is unforeseen, then that's catered for separately.
Anyone would like to share or discuss this? Anyone, please? I'd like to hear your input, not only me answering questions. We can all participate in this.
Excuse me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Geoffrey, you have your mic. Can you contribute, please?
Yes, I can. I think the problem here is that a contractor shouldn't be signing a lump sum contract to do this kind of works. And I think the problem starts here. I mean, we should sign the type of contract that will give us the most expected outcome for each party. I mean, if I know I'm signing a lump sum contract to do this kind of work, I'm accepting the risk by the moment I'm signing the contract. I mean, shouldn't maybe the contractor be signing another type of contract? I mean, I believe that's the problem. So when you know there will be a couple of uncertainties with the scope or maybe unforeseen event, I believe we should be signing a contract that gives us a more safe, a more safe approach. I believe that's the issue. Thank you.
Yeah, the problem is, and you saw the schedule that Naji had earlier. An owner always wants a lump sum because it transfers the risk from them, right? So the first thing they will go for is a lump sum because it's not the best contract. I agree with you. It's not necessarily the best contract type for a contractor, but they have to weigh the risk associated with the project and determine if they want to take on that project based on the sum that is provided, given all of the risks that are in front of him, right? But I'm saying, even with a lump sum, is there a way to cater for uncertainty? or I mean, you could put it in the force majeure clause or the indemnity clause. But yeah, it's for us to sort of discuss how to deal with it.
Yeah. In fact, Ricardo, yes, there is a way in really evaluating the possible threat that might arise through simulation. What if scenarios, several scenarios, what if the weather, what if the piles, what if, and a good contractor, a diligent contractor should make a simulation about the expected budget that he will bear for expected threats. So he should include in his price that amount that shall be used whenever any of these threats unforeseen arise. It is not only calculating the direct cost of the construction. Yes, there are ways, simulation, to really determine the expected amount. It's not exact, it's always expected percentage. 50% we would pay 100K for a certain threat. They should do this exercise. And unfortunately, they don't do it. They just send their bid to make it minimal, and then they have to bear consequences. So that's my thoughts about it again. They should do this exercise.
Thank you, Naji. We have now Roberto. Roberto, can you pose your question, please? Or contribution?
Yes, actually, when we had a project we were bidding on, so we make a risk matrix of the project, and we handled deciding because of the high risk in a social high risk of the project that makes the project be so expensive, and the risk of losing money was high. So before deciding in bidding a project, the best thing is to make a risk matrix in order to take good decisions.
Right.
Thanks.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, Roberto. We now have Aaron. Aaron, please.
I heard Naji's proposal to say that you need to evaluate these bids and make simulations of what could go wrong. Now, also including Roberto's proposal, I wanted to ask, I for one live in a country where people rely on the lowest evaluated bidder as one of the criterias. And even most of the times, the timeline between the time you bid and the time that you submit the bid is very small. Now, in a practical environment, how would that be applicable to accommodate that? And as well as in the event that, let's say, for example, I have bidded for a job, I'm the lowest evaluated bidder, and then I decide to say that, okay, now I qualify. Let me go and do those simulations, and then I bring in these risks and all these simulations and likelihoods, and then the price jumps high that I'm no longer the lowest evaluated bidder. What then happens? Yeah, thank you.
That is so common in many of these. That's why you have so many problems with projects, right? Because they want to evaluate the lowest bidder come in, but he cannot deliver the project for that price. And he knows it from the beginning. And so you always have this issue of scope and issues with projects because of that. One way to solve, though, Aaron, is to separate the, what do you call that? The cost from the, so they have two envelopes, right? You have capability and cost, so that you're evaluating based on not just one criteria, price, but also on the capability of the bidders as well.
You, Ricardo.
Yes, yes, there is like.
Dios viejita. Gracias.
Sorry.
Go, you can proceed, Aaron. You can proceed.
I think the question was, since Ricardo has responded from the what do you call it, the owner side, right? I am now requesting guidance and information from the contractor side where I want to get a job, that I will end up getting that job, and as well as manage the risk, because I think the program is to address both the contractor side as well as the owner side, so at least we're able to be on a stand ground of how to manage these issues very well. If I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I get your answer. So you're a contractor, you want to submit a good price, a least price to get the job. On the other hand, you will be paying for some unforeseen events, right? This is your question, if I get it right. So some contractors, they track whatever they can get during the construction period, what they can get as cash. They would count on change orders, that change order would bring them some cash. Or they can just read what is missing from the client side, and then they make a claim. This is proper, this is not proper, I'm not sure about it, but they do it. So they bid for a least price. However, they know exactly that there are some ways to get their cash in either changes or claims. That's what some contractors do.
Not the right way. Not the right way, but yeah. So Aaron, I think that the question is, or the answer is, going in with the lowest bid, knowing that you can't complete the project for that amount of money, is really, you're fooling yourself from the beginning, right? And yeah, I don't know if that's even workable.
That's right, Ricardo. That's right. So we now have Lulu. Can you pose your question?
Mohammed's hand was up for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Mohammed. So let's start with Mohammed. And
maybe he didn't see me, ma. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what I need to highlight here, it's all the contractor responsibility. At the end, it's all the contractor responsibility. You have the time for bidding. You have the right to make site investigation. You have the right to make soil investigation. You have the right to collect information about the projects. You have all the right during the bidding stage to do and to cover all the risk you are in your mind. It's your experience. Like you are going to bid, for example, for infrastructure projects for it's your responsibility as a contractor to collect all the data during the bidding stage. If the data is not enough, if what you see is not enough, then the risk calculated here is high. You have to put it in your bid. Sometimes the risk it would be more than the profit. Sometimes the risk factor it's more than profit itself. So at the end, when you are bidding, when you are submitting your bid, so you are giving yourself as a contractor to the client. It's all your responsibility. Unforeseen, whatever, uh, during the bidding stage, you have the right to raise a claim for example, to queries, to the client, to the consultant who is making the design. Uh, uh, these claims, or what if you didn't get the proper answer, so now the risk is high. So what I mean, it's it is not calculated, so you are going to pay for it. If it is calculated, and you are out, so it's better that as a contractor to be out of this project. King. It's your decision at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, Ricardo, go ahead.
I think that depends, though, Mohammed. I think you're focused on a particular type of contract. There are many types of contracts. So the integrated one or the PPP, it says that the risk is borne by whoever is capable of carrying the risk. So in the PPP contract, the government takes a lot of regulatory risk, for example, because the government is most capable of handling that risk. So I would say it depends on the type of contract. So we have to be careful how we contextualize that particular risk element.
Thank you, Ricardo. Now, Lulu, I hope I'm pronouncing it well. So you can pose your question or contribution, please.
Thanks, Mario. Can I request that we put the question back again, because I was a bit lost because we had so many other scenarios that were sketched in the picture, but I wanted to contribute on the original question. Because what I when I read the question, I said owner when I was answering, but I said contractor rather, but I think it should be the owner, because earthworks is a remeasurable item on the bill of quantities. So if I would have agreed upfront and signed the contract, I signed on the basis of what was at my disposal. For argument's sake, I might have said, I even had a geotech report that I've requested from the owner that told me something else. But as I excavated further, I happened to come across these unforeseen circumstances. Then I'm saying earthworks is one of the remeasurable items on the bill of quantities. I might have signed based on the bill that was at my disposal then, but when I am on site, I found something different. So then I pushed the risk back to the owner, because as a contractor, I did all the due diligence on my side. That told me something else, and I did my estimates and agreed on signing that lump sum based on the info that I had at my disposal. So I can come back and say, owner, I'm pushing the risk back to you because this is what I found. So you cannot say, no, you agreed on that, Lulu. And yet we are remeasuring, and now I'm putting an invoice. And then when the quantity surveyor is doing a determination on my invoice that I've submitted, they ought to consider what is found on site.
I get it, Lulu. Well, I believe it's always what the contract mentions. Let me elaborate. If the contract mentions that if the quantities appearing in the BOQ are different from the actual quantities, the contractor is entitled for more payment. Or if the quantities are less, they deduct. If the contract does mention this, yeah, you are right in this. If it doesn't, it is a lump sum project. So again, the quantities are indicative, maybe. So it depends on the clauses. That's why I insist, clarify each clause. Try to make as much possible scenarios, what if scenarios in the contract, so that you can go back to the contract and abide to it. So it depends really on the clauses.
Ponza, you have a question? Or Lulu, are you, it was answered the way you...
It's answered, Mario, but unfortunately in an exam, I wouldn't have an opportunity to give all these substantiating arguments. I would have answered already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
you would have gotten it right, Lulu.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mario.
I think between yesterday and today, it's just becoming clearer that it's important how the question is posed, right? So for example, Lulu, if they included that portion of, information, then you could have assumed that. I think there's two things I just wanted to make a point. Ricardo, the point was sometimes it can benefit the contractor to have the pay upfront, right? The lump sum, because remember they're managing their liquidity as well, their cash flow, and they have an opportunity maybe to get discounts on supplies or, to be able to do resource allocation quite effectively and then benefit from the lump sum. That is assuming, of course, there are not these unforeseen circumstances. The second part is, I think to Najee's point, they actually do a lot of that change request strategy is quite big, especially in public sector. They do the low bid and this is why we get a lot of irregular expenditure in government, because all these change orders, a contract would have started at $1 million and end up at $40 million with change orders.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't know what good practice. It is their strategy to actually extract a lot more. And I think this is why this course is so important, especially the module dealing with scope and change order management, especially on the side of, I suppose, both sides. What do you look out for when you're doing the scope and so on? Yeah.
Thank you. I think that the session was very, very, very informative, very interactive, and all of us in the team appreciate your contribution. We end this week 1 and day 2 of this week session. We will continue on the next week with another topic on the PMICP construction professional credential. Informing you that we will have 2 days with we're starting on Tuesday and the other one on Thursday. We will have another a session leader, and stay tuned because this is just starting, and your contribution to your interaction will fuel us to continue our journey. So for those who are in the WhatsApp group, stay tuned, reinforcing that. If not, put your phone on the chat and then we will add you. So we will keep this interaction in that group. So let's connect, let's keep doing, and your journey will end up in the PMICP credential. Believe that this is the main goal, and thank you for this productive session. Thank you very much, and have a good evening for those who are in this location. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Have a nice, pleasant night.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.